Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Miami MHB Postgame Show, brought to you by Robinhood. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, got Franky G, co-host, co-founder of Stream Beat, Draft Beat extraordinaire. What's good, Franky?
Not Terry Rozier.
Chat is a funny place today after what is a Heat win. We have Big 8 Seed saying unserious roster. We have Skinny McGee saying I hate us. I hate us.
I think that's what Spo says.
Then we have one guy just going good win. Followed by worst win of the year by a different person. We got a random Hawkes stray. We got Dave saying I'm done with Jaime. If it is a Spanish holiday, he ain't hooping. Got Alf's Burner saying hashtag thank you, Duncan. As Pat Riley failed Duncan Robinson.
I think it's really appropriate. You remember that Jamil Hill when the Lakers put Rui on Jokic and they lost the game. She's like, yeah, they lost, but if I'm Denver, I'm treating this like a loss anyways. That's the Heat this season. Like, yeah, they won this game, but Terry Rozier is a disaster.
I have a question, Franky. Let me play devil's advocate here. Do you think the Milwaukee Beat equivalent of us, the Euro Step, Blue Wire Family Pod, do you think they were having this same show yesterday?
No, they won on the road without Giannis.
I mean, the Heat kind of didn't have Jimmy on the road. The Heat won on the road with, a very hampered Jimmy that couldn't finish the game.
Dog, this Hornets team had half an NBA center. And they started Taj Gibson in the year 2024.
I found out he was still in the league today.
I think he's older than their coach.
He's 39 years old. I checked today. He has to be the oldest player in the league, right?
Or LeBron, I think.
Is LeBron 40?
I don't know.
I think if LeBron was 40, I would know. LeBron James age. Let's Google together. LeBron's 39 years old, born December 30th. Taj Gibson. Taj
is 39.
LeBron is older because LeBron's about to turn 40 next month, and Taj will turn 40.
The Hornets coach is a year older than Taj Gibson.
Is it Baroniega?
Charles Lee.
What happened to the Puerto Rican guy?
I think he got fired like a year and a half ago, bro.
Oh, well, can't say he deserves to stay, right? The Hornets are the Hornets. Man, listen, they were up by a lot. They were up by 20. You're thinking, wow, Jimmy doesn't have to do a lot tonight. That's a positive. They kind of Duncan really took the scoring load early. Their offense looked to work. Their defense looked pretty good too. I mean, LaMelo had a lot of points, but the shooting percentages were pretty bad, and he was just really shot chucking. And then the fourth quarter shows up, and their defense completely falls apart. They can't score for stretches. Like the history, like that's just the MO of this group, of this build. And then you're in a dogfight at the end, depending on missed free throws and Franky, somebody has to explain to me why Terry Rozier's in a defensive possession. Like why do they come out of a timeout with Terry Rozier in a defensive possession? I don't understand. If somebody can explain to me, Franky, you're a very educated, smart man who knows a lot about this sport. Maybe you can explain to me. Chat, maybe somebody I don't understand why arguably your worst rotation defender is out there on a defensive game-ending possession, and the guy who gets beat is him on a fucking on a cut, and then Crotty is like, they got confused. No. they didn't get confused. One guy got confused. I just saw somebody to explain to me.
I mean, it's Spo's MO. He never makes offense defensive subs. He rarely ever does it. The only time we've really seen it recently is when he takes Bam out for those game winning plays to put Kevin in, and it's been successful. But I don't know because defensive plays he doesn't take Tyler Duncan out sometimes either. He took Duncan out today to put Pele, and I didn't know Pele was healthy, because he barely played in the fourth, and apparently he was good enough to play at the end. But
I don't get why he didn't play more. Also, I mean,
like you had 12 minutes of Terry Rozier in the fourth, 11:56 technically, and he was like a minus 14 in a game they won by 4. Like plus or minus, single game plus minus can be faulty, but this was accurate as hell for Terry, in my opinion. He was awful.
I mean, didn't he score? He didn't score his first point till the fourth quarter.
I believe so.
He had all 7 of his points in the fourth. And I mean, prior to that, I mean, I just got to be honest with you. And I know that people are going to say, like, I don't like Rozier because Kyle was traded for him. And I'm not going to lie, that's only partly true. It was mostly a bit. And now it's just frustrating to watch a guy who I even said, I was like, listen, I don't like the trade because I don't like what they gave up for him, meaning an expiring contract and a first-round pick. But I even said when they got him, listen, he's going to help their offense. He's going to provide some scoring punch that they don't have. And just frankly, he's been fucking useless. Yeah. He's had a handful of games throughout the time he's been here that he was a real difference maker. And the rest of the time, he plays like an asshole. I'm really over him. Honestly, Frankie, I would just straight up rather have Dion Waiters.
No.
At least Dion competed on defense.
Sometime for those 30 games, yeah.
Bro, at least Dion was a good defender. And I don't know. I'm just so over the Rozier experience. Off the bench, starting, and you're just stuck with him. He's absolutely tanked his value. Another single-digit fucking game. At least when Kyle Lowry was here, he was fucking 40 years old. How old is Terry Rozier? Let's play my favorite game tonight. Googling players' ages. Terry Rozier age. 30 years old. The prime of his career. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here, man. I'm just sick of it, bro. And then in for the defensive possession. And by the way, Spo's a terrorist. Putting Ware in at the end for his first career free throws, that's the sub you make?
Well, Come on, bro. He went for the rebound. He got the rebound. And
I know. Listen, I'm happy. And listen, he buried both. I was like, this poor kid.
Big time.
This poor fucking kid. Yeah, chat saying great sub. I think Spo is kind of an asshole for that. Terrorist behavior. Absolutely terrorist behavior. Frankie, I know they won. Feels like a loss. At the end of the day, it'll count as one in the win column. I gotta be honest, they should have fucking won yesterday and they should have lost today. So yeah. I guess it evens out. I thought, it's just annoying. I'm just sick of them. There was a shot after who's that? Somebody hit a 3 to put Charlotte up, and I forgot the player's name. But it pans to Jimmy sitting on the bench, just shaking his head. And I'm just like, yeah, bro. Literally, I was doing the exact same thing. And then it just gets Jimmy. By the way, tremendous camera work. It's tremendous.
Skinny McGee in the chat asked me to check the Tyler Terry Duncan net rating for tonight. And it was a minus 75 in it wasn't that many minutes, but it was like a -6. And then I'm just looking at all it was in 4:45 of the fourth quarter. But I'm just looking at like all the 3-man trios for the game, and all the bad trios like it's 7 out of the 8 bad 3-man trios were with Terry included. He was just a nightmare today.
Every night.
Oh man.
Let's talk about some of the good stuff. Duncan Robinson,
Awesome game.
awesome game for Duncan. I think that, and I've been like really happy that he's revived his career after. To be honest with you, Frankie, it just looked like he was on the decline and he was in free fall. Lost his rotation spot. Looked lost. And listen, he's shooting about 39% from three this year on fourth. Actually, no, I'm reading that wrong. What is they changed dunks and threes here. Okay, shooting 37% from three, which is not at his level, but still very good. The thing is, he just does so many other things now as a ball handler.
Should go up tonight too. He went 6 for 9.
Yeah, and I know that he had a bit of a slower start this season to his shooting, but it's really rounded into form, and I wouldn't doubt that he's going to get to his around 39% figure. So I'm happy with what he's given them. I'm happy with him as a playmaker. I thought him and Bam, the two man, was really good today, and you kind of see why we've hammered for them to play together more. They're just such a natural pairing. It makes so much sense. I'm very proud of him.
Chad saying inbound specialist.
And also their second best inbounder on the team after Kevin Love.
Yeah, he's been great. Just constant movement got them going really well in the first quarter. 13 of his 22 in the first. And Spo froze him out in the fourth because he just wouldn't play him. He closed the last 5 minutes of the game or so, but like that was a long spell of no Duncan Robinson and no Jimmy Butler because of the injury. So they needed some offensive juice. Bam didn't have it going. Tyler didn't really get it going until the fourth quarter. And I was just surprised that they took so long to get Duncan involved in the fourth quarter. And they kind of froze him. Hornets did a good job of pressuring the ball out of his hands and making others make plays. But yeah, they don't win without his early offense and giving them that lead, that space to avoid the comeback.
Dude, and you say Bam didn't have it going. When exactly does he have it going?
Well, I mean, he had 8 points today. But he had a Draymond game today with the 10 rebounds, 10 assists. He played like an asshole today, though. He played like an asshole. He was more busy trying to get foul calls, boxing out, the arm wrestling, tangled up with every 5 in the game, with Brandon Miller, with LaMelo Ball, with the other center that the Hornets had. Just not fucking focused, and that it was pissing me off. I was so annoyed with his game.
I'm just like, so he. I want to talk about the oscillation. I mean, I'm so proud of Duncan. I'm so disappointed in Bam.
Yeah, he was great with the screens. Like Cooper Moorhead from the MiamiHeat.com was talking about how he was just getting them open on the screens, but like offensively, just doesn't get himself involved scoring wise. Takes horrible shots and just doesn't do his job to make his game easier. He wants to fucking be a finesse player without having the skill set to be one, and it's frustrating. I'm tired of it.
It's his lowest point total since 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
He's averaging 16.5 points per game, and 9 rebounds a game, 9.3 rebounds a game. Just frankly not good, especially if your scoring numbers are going to dip. I want those rebounding numbers to go up and those assist numbers to go up, because at least in 2019, 2020, when he averaged 16 points a game, he was averaging 5 assists, right? It was 5 assists and 10 rebounds. And this year it's 9 and 4, right? And it's like, what are we doing? So
yeah,
we'll have more time to talk about him at length with the non game day podcast, but he's just been frustrating. And I think tonight was kind of the same. It's like, I think the wheels are falling off, and you kind of turn to him. You want your guy to help pull you out of the mud. And it was Tyler today. It wasn't Bam. And it's like, that to me is like, Jimmy's out. Is Bam going to be one of the guys to step up and bring you back in, kind of pull this game back together for you? And the fact that he wasn't is concerning, alarming, whatever you want to say, but ultimately disappointing.
Yeah, for sure. And like you can point to like his adjusting his game somewhat to be for the 5 out spacing and stuff, but his 2-point percentage is taking a nosedive, a career worst 45.3% coming into tonight. Just awful touch around the rim. Can't get those tip-ins to fall. He's not even taking as many mid-range and stuff, but he's just getting nothing at the rim, not finishing at the rim. And he's not involved in the passing game. And I mean that the roster construction doesn't do him favors, but getting him assists and stuff, getting him easy buckets. His on it, he's at most of his field goals are self-created for a guy who doesn't have the skill set or the handle to do so. He's still creating his own shots. A ton. Spo just refusing to play Duncan with him early got him into a funk, and now you hope Duncan and Tyler being in the starting lineup together can eventually get him going, but he's got to do some soul searching. And I've been saying since the finals against Denver that I think he needs an off season with a new coach and just work on some new shit.
Are you saying hashtag fire Spo?
Huh?
Are you saying hashtag fire Spo?
No. I meant like his trainer.
I'll fuck with you.
I got some shit to say about Spo. Oh my god!
Before you say that,
this is the worst Spo year in a while.
Azam92 says, I lost my old Twitch login and I felt the need to make a new account. Wait the 10 minutes to post just to bitch about how awful this Heat win is. This is a rudderless team from top down. Wanted to read my guy's comment to the hoops that this man went through to complain. This is the kind of passion this Heat team instills in people.
Shout out to Zab.
God, I love you, bro. Thanks for joining, tuning in tonight. Yeah, we'll close the show with Spo. I saw somebody else say, why is Jovic not playing? Brother, because Jovic was not good when he was playing. And Jovic is 6'10" and grabs like 3 rebounds a game. I'm sorry, that's over. Like, I don't think he should be in the rotation over guys like Pell. Like, I'm sorry. They're just playing better without him. I mean, not that tonight was any indication of that. But, I think Haywood has just been a lot better. And I got to be honest, like, I'm just kind of whatever on a lot of these guys. I mean, we talked at length last night about Jaquez, and just continues to disappoint at every level. I mean, he had some moments today, but also like he also pump faked into like 6 guys today, and I was like, what are we doing? He had 11 points and 6 assists and 6 rebounds. Excuse me, was 3 for 10 though. So.
Yeah, you know how we say that we knew that Dwayne and Jimmy were washed when they started pump faking before when they're wide open. Jaime's already doing that. Jaime's 23.
I'm like, bro, get. I mean, Lou and I and Kyle and Alf talked about it last night, but it's like how you come into the year without anything new in your game at that young of an age.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the reasons I wanted to see him play Summer League a lot more because I wanted to see him dominate. He went on a barrage his last game. I think he only played like 2 games, but he went on a barrage. But like even during that game, we were on playback, and I was like, me and Lou were talking about like you've barely felt and noticed this guy. Like he should be dominating these guys, and then he went on a flurry. But like we could kind of see signs of it just not being good enough, just being who he is, and not having much fucking room for growth with his skill set and his talent.
It's frustrating, and it's annoying, and it's just going to be something that we have to watch this season because he's just they need something out of him that they're not getting, and to really take off, they're going to need to find a guy improve internally, and that would have been one of the bigger candidates to do so. He and Jovic, who both haven't done that. Frankie, let's get into Spo, and then get out of here because we've slandered Terry enough tonight. Yeah, man, it's just I will say this, and I'll say this good about Spo and tonight. I do think their game plans from night to night are still good, and I think that he's still very flexible. Like I think we saw last night against the Bucks, the Rozier, the Lillard flurry. They adjusted by sending two, by kind of going with a more mobile lineup without Love to make sure that they can cover the space after doubling and moving and all the rotations and the zone and all that. So he still got it.
Yeah.
I wonder what else is going on. They changed the offense, which I think is not an easy thing to do. They really revamped their offense, and I know that's going to be a process. And I actually do like the work that they've done to revamp the offense. I don't really like what they're doing defensively. I think it's a little too much drop. But again, I understand that they've lost so much defensive personnel, right? You lose Caleb, you don't really replace them. You just keep getting smaller and smaller, or you get bigger with guys that can't defend at the level you want. And I think it's a bit of a whack-a-mole for him. And I think it's a weird situation where he had to make changes, but doesn't have the personnel to make the changes. And he's kind of in no man's land figuring out what to do.
For sure. Yeah. I think the number one issue is the roster construction. There's really no balance. You have Jimmy. I think they've relied on Jimmy and Bam to cover up weaknesses for far too long, and not complemented them with guys that can defend. You look down the roster. Jimmy's taking a step back defensively. Bam is still a positive defensively. He was like in 90 something percentile, but you don't feel his impact. But as much defensively. But it's Tyler, Terry, Jaime, Duncan, Burks, Josh Richardson, Jovic, Kevin Love, Thomas Bryant. All those guys play major minutes, and Khalil Ware is a rookie big man who still makes a lot of mistakes defensively, positionally, and it needs to gain some weight. But that's almost the whole fucking roster. All those guys are average at best defensively, and that's you're asked to make up a lot. Love is limited to pretty much show a recover or a drop. Ware is pretty much a drop big only. We knew that going forward, and none of the guards besides Pele and Highsmith really fight over screens. Drew when he's available as well, but like you have you're arguably your second and third best perimeter defenders are Drew Smith, who's been hurt, is on a two-way and he's been hurt a lot, and Pelle Larson, who's a second-round pick as a rookie. Like, that's a fucking mess. Jaime didn't get better defensively, has not shown, has struggled offensively as well. Duncan looks slower defensively. Tyler's his effort is better. He still ranks really poorly defensively. Terry's a nightmare. Like you're just and you can't ask Jimmy to be 35, cover up holes, be the main guy offensively, and defend the best player defensively. He's has to guard point of attack a lot now. He wasn't even doing that his first year with the Heat, and now he's doing that 5 years later with a lot more mileage and injuries. Like, I think the number one issue is the roster construction, and it will remain so as long as this group is together. And Pat is going on the UD show and saying like this. I think this roster has the talent to get it done. I'm like, man, I know you got to say some shit in public, but
Frankie, but you know what though? I talked.
We got to see this group healthy.
I talked to Tiff on the phone today. I love when Tiff calls me because we'll talk about we'll catch up as friends, and then we'll do a private podcast for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And one of the things we were saying was about the Bradley comment was how I go, Tiff, what's funny is that like if the Heat get to like 4 or 5, which is doable, the East is really bad, and they match up against like the Knicks or something. Bro, you wouldn't tell yourself, I think we can beat them. Like, it's just the Knicks. And all of a sudden, you're in round 2, and what if it's Milwaukee or something? It's like...
You say this is exactly why they don't fucking pick a direction.
I know, but it's also true, dog.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, bro, because all these other teams think. That doesn't excuse them from that. I'm just saying is that I understand how they fall in the trap.
Because they fall in love with their own shit, and they don't realize it's fucking shit.
I actually don't even believe that. I just think that,
bro, we're almost at a decade since 30-11. Like, time has flown, but you could point to them falling in love with their own shit since that time.
We gotta do an anniversary for 30 and 11. Heatbeat has to nobody's gonna celebrate 30 and 11, but we have to.
The reason they suck is because of 30 and 11.
Well, they've made 2 finals since then,
and they can't get over that hump. They can't even make a fucking move after go for it because of the 30 and 11.
Well, they can't make a move and go for it because, well, I mean, I think they had stuff to make a move. It just sounds like they weren't interested in doing it, and they made the wrong move. They cashed the wrong chip.
But that's the thing. You got $5, and you've got you can only budget so much because most teams are down, they're adding to their fucking pockets and they're adding shit to get better in the long run. You look at OKC, their run was over. They turned Ibaka into Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams by making trades and knowing when to rip the Band-Aid off. You look at even the fucking Celtics said, hey, let's rip the Band-Aid off. They're not competing anymore. The big 3 is over, and they turned that into a decade of the Jays and their current roster. The fucking Heat, when they were supposed to be doing that shit and adding to their roster, adding to the assets, adding to that shit, they fucking said, James Johnson, 4 years, take it. We're gonna draft Justice Winslow, and we're gonna use him to get rid of the mistakes instead of adding to instead of getting picks and shit. And that's why they are where they are, because they drafted Josh Richardson, who was a good player at one point, and they couldn't use him as a part of the core. They had to use him to get Jimmy, which was the right decision. But they haven't. That's not a bad thing. Yeah, but they didn't have any fucking assets to make trades. They had to be so fucking selective that when they make a move and they make a mistake, it fucking bites them in the ass.
I'll defend them with this. They did a move and they got a guy. They got the 1 seed, and then that guy's hamstring exploded, and they were still a game away from a finals that they probably win. That's all I'll say. Somebody else said they've been in 2 finals and won 3 games. Let me tell you something. Those 2 games against LA, I've never felt more fucking alive.
And we could also talk about if there was no fucking bubble, Goran does not.
I was ready
to the finals.
Frankie, I was so ready to fucking commit crimes for Jimmy Butler. When he's fucking going toe to toe with LeBron, you'll never take that away from me. And that 1 game in Denver, I'll have that forever. That was such a Spurs series. They win that game on the road, and we're like, oh, yeah, they're going home tied. You know, this is a fucking series. And they get washed. Listen, guys, it's a long year. The Heat what's their record? Are they a game above 500 right now? They are they 8-8 or 9-8? I don't know if this updated or not. So they're some level of 5. There's some level of the 6th or 5th seed. 8-8. As I'm says. Yeah. They are at 500. They are
we should talk about Tyler today too, because he bailed them out.
No, listen. I've said this a lot. I'm very proud of Tyler. I think Tyler's on an all-star trajectory. If Miami can keep a half decent record going into All-Star break, he's going to be their top selection to make the All-Star team. If the Heat are going to get a representative, it's going to be Herro. I think he's having by far the best season of his career. I think that becoming an all-star is something I never thought he'd do. And the fact that he's playing at a level I did not think he'd get to, listen, I've said a million times Trey Tyler, and I don't think that was the wrong thing to say. And I still don't think that's the wrong thing to say, but I'm so proud of his development. I'm proud of his work ethic. I'm proud of the player he's become, a guy that I never thought he'd become. Mm-hmm. I still think he has ceiling caps because he doesn't have athleticism in the way that you need to score. I don't think he's going to get enough free throws to really kind of take that next step from all-star to even better star. But I'll say this, I didn't think he'd get here in the first place. And I'll admit when I was wrong, and I was wrong about him, and he's a lot better than I thought he'd ever be. And I'm just really proud of that guy for working as hard as he has, for developing this part of his game, and for the organization for being patient with him and letting him become this guy. I think he's the number 1 story this season, and it's not close. And
Hold on. I don't think you could say the organization being patient with him when they tried to trade him for fucking every star and just got rejected.
Allegedly, no. Listen, according to reports, he was never on the table. He was never offered for James Harden or anybody else.
No. Even recently when he had his shooting slump when the threes weren't falling, he stayed committed, stayed disciplined to like his shot selection. Wasn't last year and various other points of his career, he was I felt like he would shoot them out of games trying to find his shots and find his points, and he stayed disciplined, taking good shots, trusted the flow of the offense, moving the ball. He's become a much better passer, much better decision maker, making reads instead of being predetermined. Deciding, it's time for me to shoot. I'm gonna go to this and then shoot. He's reading his defenders much better. And he had his struggles tonight too, but like kept them in the game, and took it right back. He hit that big three for the go ahead. Had the 5 assists, had a steal, shot 70% from 2, which was mostly inside the paint. Like he was attacking those horrible big men, but like all those fucking he had one mid range from inside the arc, and the rest were all at the basket and inside the paint, and that's fucking big for Tyler. Like great game, player of the game. They don't win without him. You're muted.
Excuse me. He's shooting 41.5% from 3, career high. 54% from mid range. It's also a career high.
Because he's taken like 2 of them.
Well, that's good. He's
great.
Hitting the shots that he's taking at a very, very, very high clip. That's the 95th percentile for mid range shooters, which is just really, really good. Continues to be an elite free throw shooter. His offensive EPM is the highest it's been in his career. His defensive EPM is the lowest it's been in his career, but that's okay. I think that'll even out a little bit.
Yeah,
as time
goes
on.
This was an inefficient game because he was just cold from 3, 4 for 12, but because he's getting to the line at career high as well.
Yeah,
59% true shooting percentage today, which would have been a career high anyways. And this was one of his worst games that I would still qualify as a good game.
And by the way, his biggest play was a defensive play.
Yeah,
like just didn't quit on the play. Yeah, man, I'm just I'm really proud of him. Career high in 3-point attempts as well. So the best percentage on the most attempts.
Now if Spo will stop fucking playing him with Terry, it could help him out on defense.
5 assists, which is also a career high for him. I mean, just everything's a career high. And I just, I think we got to give him his flowers. Against the line 4 times. I think, again, if he can get to 5 times at some point in his career, that would be such a huge accomplishment for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be the target for a guy like him. But chat says, I can't wait for this team to go on a 10-game winning streak so G joins Blue Sky. I don't want to join Blue Sky, bro. I don't know. I just if Twitter if it dies with Twitter, then it just dies. I don't want to do Blue Sky. I hear it's too kumbaya over there. I want to know, is it funny over there? I'm on Twitter because it's funny.
Yeah, that I like Alf said, I saw Horsecock already yesterday.
I don't know, man. I'm on Twitter today, and I was on Twitter yesterday, and I scrolled for hours watching people make fun of Pep Guardiola, and it was very funny. And I just can't get that. I just can't get that over there. I don't know. So, by the way,
I mean, I still have to lurk Twitter because on the Heat Beat account, and it's God. There's so much fucking assholes and shit there that I'm just so much happier on Blue Sky.
I don't. Chat's like, it's nice not to see white supremacists. I don't see any. My For You page is clean of Nazis. It's all right now. My For You page is all jokes about the collapse of Manchester City and my Liverpool Reds.
Hey man, they have these
Liverpool Reds topping the Champions League table, taking that ass to Real Madrid, putting Mbappe on his ass by Connor Bradley.
G forgets I can produce now too. I've got the keys. I'm fucking Tyler Herro in this bitch right now.
Arnie Slot has the damn keys.
Get out of here, G. Go back to Japan. Oh my God, chat. The whole group chat, as soon as G came back, our whole group chat was like, why? G, go back. Get out of here.
I said this yesterday. Alf was like, I was just sick of you posting pictures of fish
Oh my God.
on Instagram.
He was sharing it in the chat too. He's like, guys, I'm the happiest I've ever fucking
Dude,
been.
it's so fun. I had such a great time. You know what it is? Just to get it's just great to just get drunk in Shibuya and just take a safe train home.
The best part of it was not having to watch the Heat.
Honestly, I would score follow. I'd be like, what the fuck's happening over here? And I gotta be honest with you, there were days I didn't even know they were playing. I just wake up and forgot they were playing, and then I'd see you guys complain about
they
them
do the
losing
same
to
shit.
Indiana.
They if you check the box score, they do the same shit. The fourth quarter, they forgot they were playing too. They thought it was a wrap.
I gotta be honest, I didn't, and it's funny because I came back to watch the Heat again, and I'm like, so what's changed? Tiff's like, nothing. Though they were winning while that was gone.
Yeah, they went on a 4-2 streak.
I know they lost to Indiana, and everybody was mad at that. I also know they beat Indiana.
They had some real asshole moments. Were you aware of the Spo timeout situation?
Yes, I did see that. That was quite funny. I was
Spo has been awful this season.
That's the one game I followed.
I think you're the problem, G. I think we found this out.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll go back. I think they were winning games during my Kyoto leg of the trip. So I'll go back.
If they miss the playoffs and they go into the draft lottery, I think DraftBeat's gonna pay you to go to Japan and not pay attention.
I know Moose will. Moose was so happy I was gone.
Yeah. Oh, we also found out that Moose and Lou stream in the same kitchen, in the same room. They're just on the opposite side of each other.
Is it that big?
Yeah.
That's
Miami rent is bad, bro. They're sharing a studio.
Bad. No, yeah, it must be Moose, Melanie, Lou, and Lou's girlfriend. They all live in the same place.
No, Moose's dad is in there too.
Moose, Papa Moose.
Papa Moose. Papa Moose. No, Lou's dad. Not Moose's dad.
I like Papa Moose better. Papa Moose is funnier.
Papa Lou.
Papa Lou. Papa Luisito. Bueno.
Papi Sasi.
Fam, chat, Frankie, esteemed Heat fans. Please enjoy your holiday weekend. I'll be back on Friday for Heat Raptors. I believe, correct, Friday.
If they lose to the tanking Raptors,
Heat Raptors on Friday. I will be here for that at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Game starts. Wow, it's pretty late for but whatever. I'll be here for that. Catch us then. Have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy food day. Enjoy eating lots of good stuff. Lots of pie. Lots of
I am not thankful for Terry Rozier.
I'm not thankful for shit except the Liverpool Reds.
Go Pack Oak.